Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, I did a video, What is a Real Man? So if you missed that one, go watch that one. And this one, What is a Real Woman? Now, this from a male perspective. But one thing about it is, although a woman may not be able to articulate in the same way what is a real man, I would venture to believe that 90% of women who watch the video that I did on what is a real man would agree. So I say that to say, when we're discussing what is a real woman, although again there will be caveats and nuances, there are things that are non-negotiable. And so I'm going to share with you as a man, as a husband, as a relationship coach, what I believe a real woman is inside of the scope of our series of us having healthy relationships and building together. So the thing about it is, when you think about a woman, what we have to realize is the purest form and the purest intention of a woman is to be a support system for the world. And what I mean by that is, it sounds heavy, and it is. And every single woman knows that that's heavy. And even the truth about it is, men know that that's heavy. So when God created Eve, he created her as a helpmeet, which is something that says you are in a position of influence. You're in a position, you are a deciding factor. You like the X factor. Like, a lot of times the person who is doing the helping has the most power. It's also seen as the person who is the help, the advisor, has the most influence. And when you think about help, think about a king and the king's advisors, a president and the president's advisors, TV hosts, the host producers, the show producers, a house and the house help, a business and the business advisor, the business help, so to speak. There's a lot of power in being in a position of accountability, support, nurturing, encouragement. So that requires an emotional intelligence. That requires an internal strength. That, just like a man, requires equilibrium and stabilization, meaning a woman has to be able to define who she is for who she is. Because a woman isn't just a woman for herself. She's going to be a woman for a man, and she's going to be a woman for a child. And whether that is a child that she births, or a child that she teaches in school, or a child that she babysits, or a child that she just knows and is around. For a man, whether that's with a man she works with or a man she's in love with, she's got to be a woman for other people. And the thing about what a woman is a woman is a catalyst. A woman is a decision maker. I noticed that a lot of women today don't want the responsibility of being a catalyst, don't want the responsibility of being a decision maker. Think about the power a woman holds when a man kneels on one knee and he says, "Will you marry me?" I want you to sit with that right there. And that right there will shatter and upend every woman's view of a woman. And when I say every, I don't mean every single. I mean the majority. So many women speak as if they are powerless. So many women speak as if they have no say-so, no influence, no power, no control, as if they are insignificant. When in fact, the woman is the decider, meaning the woman gets to decide if she will receive a man inside of her. When a woman decides she gets to receive a man inside of her, and yes, we talking about normal life. We're not talking about the R word. We're not talking about the R word. And with the R word, then a woman gets to decide if she wants to report that man to the police. That woman gets to decide if she wants to tell her brother or her male friend or her father about that man inserting himself in her without her permission. That woman, this is what power a woman has. A woman can have any man she wants killed. A man will be very hesitant and most likely will not kill another man for a man. In the gangs they will, but outside of that, but almost every man will kill for a woman. A woman can lie on a man and have him killed or have him imprisoned. Emmett Till is just one out of hundreds of thousands of millions of men who were killed because of a woman's lie. So I want you to understand, if you're a woman watching this, that you're in a very powerful position that you maybe have relinquished and don't even realize you have that power, or you may be a woman who has misused your power. See, so I want you to think about, a woman decides if she will receive a man inside of her. And then if that woman gets pregnant, she then decides if she will give life. Because the woman decides if she will have an abortion or not. Now, she don't decide if she'll have a miscarriage or not, but she decides if she will have an abortion or not. That's power. And if she wants to have an abortion, she has more power than the man, because the man cannot make her keep that child. No matter how much he begs and pleads, if she's not ready to be a mom, even though she laid down with him, she can go to the clinic, or she could take a pill, or however that works. That's power. A woman then gets to decide if she will be the girlfriend of a man. A woman also gets to decide if she will be the fiance of a man. Then she gets to decide if she will be the wife of a man. So see, we have positioned this thing as if men have all power, and it's a man's world. Now, a woman is submissive a lot of times by nature. A lot of women have relinquished all power. because they've forgotten their role and their place and how God intended a woman to be a voice, to be a helpmeet. Being a helpmeet means you are your support, your accountability, your encouragement, you're a barometer, you're a guideline. Like you are, like that's a powerful position. You're helping this man in his purpose. And a part of your purpose is a part of his purpose. A part of your purpose is to help him as a woman. And a lot of women don't want that. A lot of women don't want that responsibility. A lot of women don't want the freedom and the liberty and the power to decide. A lot of women will cut off all senses and faculties and become dumbfounded in the presence of a man and let a man run all kind of game. And women will turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the games and the red flags because she doesn't want the power of being a decision maker, of being able to say, I have agency over my life and I have ownership over my life and I get to choose who I will accept into my life. So see, that's why a woman being the final decision, a woman decides if that marriage goes forward. A woman decides if that child goes forward. A woman decides. So that is a lot of power. A woman decides if a man lives or dies. A woman decides if a man has his career or not. We watched a woman destroy a man's career. There was a man who was the head coach at Michigan State football. And this woman, she went in and she followed me on what's it called? Yeah, what is it? Can you come through that way or you gotta go through there? Y'all give me 1 second, my wife here. Let me pause it. Sorry about that. My wife had cooked me some breakfast and brought it to me without me asking. I did not know that was coming, but fortunately on this here system I'm able to pause, so that's great. I'm glad I'm using this because I'm able to pause, and so I was able to, pause and eat my breakfast and come on back. But as I was saying, we seen a lady ruin a man's entire career, and he was to be paid $95 million. It was a white lady and a black man. She could have some black in her or be mixed or something, I'm not sure. She appears to have like a BBL, and she goes in and she speaks to teams about like gang rape and things of that nature, like all of that. But yet she's going in there, but she go in there, instead of having on certain type of clothes, she wear very tight jeans, really letting that booty swing, and still look like a temptress to a lot of men. And that's not her fault that she built like that, but she started talking to this man on the phone. And they talking on the phone, they texting. So, if a man could call you at 10 o'clock and you pick up and y'all just talking for an hour shooting the breeze, he think he got something going. And he was paying her $10,000 to speak. Now, keep in mind, I spoke to a football team that's bigger than Michigan State and was paid $1,000. So he's paying her $10,000. And so he took the liberty to try to get closer to her, try to hit on her, try to, probably want to sleep with her. And then he decided he was going to pull back. And rightfully so. Like, you can't be paying nobody $10,000 to come speak because that's not in the budget. And when you got to bring in multiple speakers, like, it just don't make no sense. I've never been paid $10,000 to speak to a sports team, and I speak sports teams all the time. I never would even ask for that much money. So it was a little bit of pretty privilege, and that's another power that a woman has that could be used for good or for bad. And so she was getting $10K to go and give a speech. And then the man scaled back on the speech and said, we're not going to be able to continue it. And then after that, she decided to come out and out him and say that he was on the phone with her and he was masturbating while he was on the phone. And he was fired. He was fired and lost his head coaching job. And they were trying to see, I got to Google to see if Michigan State ever gave him the $95,000 he was owed, or if he lost it on the grounds of misconduct, which it wasn't misconduct because it was two grown people having consensual conversations on the phone, not even in person. Like, it was no physical touching or nothing like that. But I say that to say is women do have power and influence and the ability to move the needle. But what I've noticed is so many women have relinquished that and have become helpless, defenseless, and will not walk in that power, will not walk in that calling. So a woman is sober-minded. A real woman is stable. A real woman is directionally driven. What I mean by this is a woman is the CEO of the world. She's the CEO of the marriage. She's the CEO of the household. So the woman has to have an emotional equilibrium. She has to use her mind to create and curate a self-care regimen that keeps her stabilized. And she cannot put her happiness, her peace, or her joy on the auction block for men to buy her happiness for the most expensive dinner, or the most expensive house, or the most expensive car. A woman cannot give her peace and her happiness over to her child and allow a child to dictate and run her life. Nor can she allow a man to dictate and run her life in an abusive, toxic way. And it can't be healthy dictatorship because that's an oxymoron. So a man who is healthy will not be a dictator. He will be a leader, and he will lead with love. He will lead in love, and a good woman will submit unto a good man. And a good man is submitted unto God. So one of the things that is a pet peeve of mine, and I seen this it was a prank video, and the guy would pass gas. It was an older white guy, probably in his 40s or 50s. No, probably 50s or 60s. Because I'm 41, I can't be called a man older. Probably in his 50s or 60s. He'll be in the store, and he walked past black women and passed gas loud, white guy. Could have been some type of little machine he had or something. And every single one of those women, every single one of the black women cursed him out. Every one of them said the F word or MFer. And I know that 90% of the women watching this video curse. It is not attractive. Because as the quote says, The more you curse, the less sensitive you become to your behavior. The more you curse, the less sensitive you become to your behavior. So what has to be understood there is you have to realize as a woman that you are the temperature setter. You the barometer, you the thermometer. If you curse, it shows a lack of emotional intelligence or a lack of self-control, a lack of wisdom, and a lack of maturity. And guess who is closest to the children? The woman. So if the woman is unhinged, y'all gotta forgive me because I have to have this. I'm on this little desk. So if the woman is unhinged and she can't bridle her tongue, she can't control her emotions, but she is the closest to the child. She carries the child. So if the woman is increasing her cortisol, she's affecting that child. That child is receiving stress chemicals. And then when she has that baby, she enters into postpartum. So now she has postpartum. If she already wasn't a woman of discipline and a woman of structure, postpartum can kill her. And so now she will go into postpartum, and then what will happen is she will then be broken by this child. Because what also will be a guarantee is that her man, whether he is her husband, her fiance, her boyfriend, or just her co-parent, what is going to be a guarantee is he's going to get on her nerves. He's going to disappoint her. He's going to upset her. So a woman, a real woman, accepts full responsibility for her structure, for her life, for her emotional regulation, and she does not put it up for auction. A real woman is a woman after God's own heart. She is a woman that you can feel the Spirit of God on. Because the woman has to be the peace for the household. Because the man, being built to be a hunter, being built to be a killer, being built to be a provider, being built to be the one to go to war to protect the land, the man will be the storm. So if the woman is the storm, the house will be destroyed. Because two storms coming together. The woman has to be the peace in the midst of the storm, because her makeup is intended to be regulated completely differently than a man. But see, here's the thing, what's happening with pseudo women today. A lot of women today don't want the call that God has given them, because they know men who haven't accepted the call that God has given them. So a lot of women are saying, hey, I'm going to act like a man. So being that a man is stupid, I'm going to be stupid. Being that a man is dumb, I'm going to be dumb. Being that a man is reckless and irresponsible and unfaithful, I'm going to be reckless and irresponsible and unfaithful. So now the blind is leading the blind. And the woman takes and stabs her eyes out and follows a blind man right into a ditch. and then the kids are lost, killed, or destroyed because a woman chose not to stand on her own two and accept the call and the responsibility that God gave her, regardless of what a man is or what a man is doing. A real woman does not place her self-respect, self-love, and responsibility in contingency of a man's behavior. A real woman does not say, I will be a real woman if he will be a real man. What a real woman does is she says, I'm going to be classy, respectful, with dignity, with integrity, a woman of God, whether he is or isn't. And if he refuses to grow and to change and to get on the level that I'm on, I am moving on with my life. That's what a real woman is. A real woman is not someone who gives up her self-respect and her self-worth for the sake of a relationship. A real woman does not follow the lead of a blind man. A real woman does not give her body away to a man that does not deserve her body. A man that has not worked for her body. A man that has not committed to marriage. Real woman doesn't do it. Does not do it. So what you have to realize is that a woman is the hardest thing to be on this earth, with all things considered. The red pill men, the MGTOW men hate me for saying that because they want being a man to be harder. It's not easy being a man. But one thing I could tell you is I don't bleed for 3 to 7 days a month. And that would be disturbing. I don't get pregnant. I don't have to carry a child and have my whole body transform and then push a child out of an area or get cut open to deliver that child. I don't have to do any of that as a man. And I'll be honest with you, if being a woman was so easy, I would wish that I could be a woman. I wouldn't trade places with a woman at all. Don't want to. But at the same time, what I'm telling you is if God gave you the call and he called you to it, he'll give you what you need to get through it. And you will do yourself no good by pointing the blame at man, by waiting on man, by being desperate for a man, by needing a man, by following a blind man. You will do yourself no good by being mad that men are not operating on your level. Don't lose your classiness. Don't step down from the work that you're doing to heal yourself and do right by yourself and be a blessing to yourself. Keep being who God called you to be and trust that your God, who is a good God, will send you the people, the man, the friends, the children, be it biological or adopted, what have you, that you need. A real woman is a woman of peace. She's a woman of standard. She's a woman of class. She's a woman of stability. She is not a follower of the blind. She's a leader of her children, and she's an influencer confidant, and accountability partner to her spouse. That's a real woman. Not a filthy mouth, cursing like a sailor, sleeping around, having sex, manipulating and deceiving with what's between your legs, using men for dinners or money, and trading it for sex. That's not a real woman. Playing the victim, crying and being the victim and twisting and turning things, that's not a real woman. Woman got class and dignity over everything. Hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. Thank you so much. Now, all the important links is in the description. Shout out to all the donors, the Tony Gaskins Family Foundation. Also, Tony Gaskins Academy. You will see the right there. The coupon code is YouTube. You could use that for 30% off all courses. God bless you, and we will be in touch.